Have you ever noticed that usually it's the people in positions of power and influence who scream the loudest turn out to be the biggest hypocrites? Josh Duggar rallied against paedophilia, turned out to be a pedophile. Quentin Tarantino protested against police brutality and violence, but when Harvey Weinstein was exposed for sexually assaulting so many women in the industry, Quentin Tarantino says, "I'm shocked, I need time to process this awful news about my good friend of 25 years. And then Quentin Tarantino processes it and comes out with the truth. "Oh, I knew about Harvey Weinstein for a long time. I just did nothing about it." Why not is the bigger question. And now we have Will Smith, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, placing his fresh prints across the face of Chris Rock. Here are 3 lessons that I learned from this event at the Academy Awards. Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. Chris Rock was making a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith likening her shaven head to G.I. Jane. Now, you could perceive this as complimentary. Will Smith did. He laughed. He thought it was funny. He clapped. But Jada Pinkett Smith rolled her eyes. Now Will Smith gets up, goes up on the stage, goes directly to Chris Rock and smacks him across the face. Returns to his seat with a smug look on his face, angrily and loudly shouts back at Chris Rock, "Don't use my wife's name in your effing mouth." Now, wait a minute, how would you expect the Academy, the organizer of this event, and all the people in the room to respond to a live physical assault? Let's think about this. This is the people, the group of people through their films, through on-screen, off-screen award shows that want to tell you how to live. They want to tell you to be better. They speak out against religion and domestic violence and sexism and racism and prejudice and bias and wars. So what happens when their values are tested? Will they be their real values? No, they're not. No one did a thing about Will Smith assaulting someone. No one went up to him. No one had the guts to say, "What are you doing? This was wrong. Go back and apologize to that guy." No, they went there and comforted him because they thought he's the victim. And the organizer of the event, they let him stay there. They didn't throw him out. They didn't call the police. They even let Will Smith get up on stage to collect his award. They rewarded his bad behavior. They rewarded his act of violence. Now, what about Will Smith though? He has 40 minutes to think about what he just did. Now remember, we usually think of this guy as being cool and chill. I mean, he took a spiritual Indian guru to his house to further educate his family about spirituality. He took Sadhguru there. So he has 40 minutes to think about it. What is he going to do? Well, he gets up there to collect his award and he's crying. He's crying because he actually feels shame and embarrassment, but he doesn't want to feel it. He doesn't want to confront it. He doesn't want to admit that he knows what he did was wrong. So what does he do? He simultaneously plays the victim, the hero, and a man doing God's work. So first he talks about, the abuse that all people like him are subjected to.
Now, know to do what we do, you got to be able to take abuse. You got to be able to have people talk crazy about you. In this business, you got to be able to have people disrespecting you.
Then he wants to place himself on a pedestal like a hero, as a fierce defender of his family, the same way that Richard Williams was with his family, the man that he portrayed in the movie.
Making this film, I got to protect Ingenue Ellis, who was one of the strongest, most delicate people I've ever met. I got to protect Sanaya and Demi, the 2 actresses that played Venus and Serena.
And then he wants to remind you that he's overwhelmed by this wonderful, amazing responsibility that God gave him.
In this moment, I am overwhelmed by what God is calling on me to do and be in this world.
Nowhere in this did Will Smith take accountability and responsibility for his actions. He could have got up and said, I'm feeling ashamed, I'm feeling embarrassed because what I did was wrong. I should never have assaulted Chris Rock. I shouldn't have resorted to violence. Chris Rock, I am sorry. I apologize to you. I apologize for hitting you, for humiliating you. I apologize to everyone for taking the attention away from this night and placing it upon myself. I apologize to the Williams families for their real life achievements and taking the attention and honor away from them and placing it upon myself. But he didn't do that. He didn't accept responsibility and accountability. He didn't say, I lost control, I was wrong, and because I know I hurt and wronged so many people, I will make it up to each and every one of them individually and collectively if need be. That's an apology. The other thing that I learned are the words of Ricky Gervais from the Golden Globes.
If you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God.
And that's the point. Will Smith has no idea of the real world because in the real world, people get arrested and charged when they assault someone. They don't get rewarded for bad behavior. And they don't get the next day to have a PR team to help them to write out an apology that just says, I apologize to Chris Rock, versus I hurt someone, I wronged someone, I will make amends. So the final thing that I learned, never place anyone on a pedestal because they'll always take themselves off a pedestal. Will Smith said,
love will make you do crazy things.
No, it doesn't. Those words are the words of a person who perpetrates domestic violence. Those words were used to me many years ago when a family member beat me and the following day said, I could never show you this anger. I could never get so angry and hit you if I didn't love you so much. That's not the words or actions of love. As in Will Smith's case, that's ego, that's false pride, that's narcissism, that's entitlement, that's delusions of grandeur or uncontrolled rage and anger. So I will remind myself that I'm human, I'm flawed, we all are. But I'll hold myself accountable, and when I wrong someone, I will make amends and I will confront it. I will confront the guilt and the shame that I've brought upon myself, that I've created. I will listen to the message, but I won't make the messenger out to be a god. And I'll remind myself that we all make mistakes, and all that matters is how we choose to respond to the mistakes. I'm Patrick Wanis. If you have a thought, please add a comment below.